I think if I had to define my father, it would be hardworking.
I'd say if he's not working extremely hard, he's just not content, and it's hard for him to, relax.
I had heard of Mark Arnold way before I met him, and the more I learned about him, the more impressed I was. He was a Ranger, he was airborne, he was a Pathfinder, he was in Special Forces, had several tours overseas, and so those are very rare qualities. And so someone in the military, that commands a high degree of respect.
Mark, like a lot of Bobcats, has given back to Ohio University and specifically to Russ College, which raised us up. He's been a regular speaker for the Rogue Leadership Institute, which is part of the college. He's very actively involved in student success. As you get to know him, you realize that his commitments and his passions and his loyalties aren't just things that he talks about. They're things that you get to witness and experience. And that's the way he demonstrates his leadership. And it's pretty amazing, powerful stuff.
In his professional life, he started out working as a salesperson that became an international sales director for ADS. Someone recognized the talent that he hired and went to a company that was struggling, and Mark was able to raise that company as a vice president of sales and marketing to a very high level that made it saleable. And that made him very attractive to another company that in fact saw him as president and CEO, and finally when that company went public, Mark was then able to retire.
He was a successful CEO multiple times. He was a Brigadier General. And then when he was done with that, he sets those aside, and now he's doing things with fire departments and EMTs and paramedics, and he's doing it with the same commitment and energy and vigor, even though he might deny that he has the same energy that he did those other things.
My father attended a race that I was competing in. I race professionally in bicycle racing, and he had just gotten his EMT certification, was really excited. He brought a little fanny pack with all these medical supplies in it, and right where him and my mother were spectating, there was a crash. And he jumped in there, checked the rider to see what he could do to help, and I think he was more excited about the fact that he could use all these skills he just learned than actually helping the person. But she did benefit from him jumping in there and helping.
I mean, who retires from being a Brigadier General and the CEO of an international company, which he's doing simultaneously, and doesn't just find a way to put his feet up and, dabble in things and make contributions based on his experiences? But he continues to learn, and he continues to develop his experiences, and he seeks out the expertise of the people who do the things that he's interested in. It's kind of mind-blowing. I mean, it's really kind of mind-blowing. Just sort of sometimes thinking about it exhausts me.
He is so mild-mannered and so community-oriented and has such a well-balanced family life that all of those traits are, you can do one of them, but to do two of them or three of them is a very rare individual, and that's how I think of Mark Arnold.
My mother is just incredibly supportive of all of the different projects, achievements, careers that my father has had.
One thing that's kind of inspiring is that they've been able to stay together all that time, and it's like sometimes if I'm wondering if I'm going to be able to do something, they kind of set the example of what you can achieve. So it makes me feel like I can do almost anything as well.